Okay, well, hey guys, welcome to the call. Thanks for popping on. It's kind of nice, I feel like, to do a little chat, video chat, and just connect in a smaller setting. I feel like sometimes when it's such a big call, people feel like they can't chime in and talk. And um, so, anyways, yeah, I feel like that's helpful. Hang on one sec. I'm just going to mute everyone for a minute. Sometimes we get weird feedback, and then we can unmute here in a little bit. Okay, so. Okay, so this call is for people working on silver, and actually, Molly, you're already silver. Lynn just went silver, whoop, and Janet's working on it. So yay! And I know that there'll be others of you that are listening to this call that are working towards silver this month. So just as a reminder, anyone that goes silver this month is in for a treat because Plexus has that special that they're running, so that the incentive is double. So normally silvers get a $100 bonus. Now this month you get a $200 bonus if you go silver for the first time. And that's actually, you'll make more, well, you'll make almost a gold bonus because the bonus when you go gold is $250. So that's pretty cool. So definitely anyone on your teams that has, even if people just joined, encourage them. You don't even have to call it working the business or do you want to go silver. Like I think sometimes that verbiage scares people. And just to say, hey, have you thought about getting a couple accountability partners to do Plexus with? Because studies show you'll do better if you have accountability. So I feel like encouraging people, even if they tell you, hey, I'm not interested in sharing with anyone, or hey, I don't do sales or anything like that. Like those little objections that come up, I always say, when I first started, I used to say, oh, no worries. Like I totally get that. I was kind of the same way. And I would just leave it at that. But now I kind of plant a little seed in people's minds, and I feel like the verbiage on it is so key. Is I'm not pushing them, but I'm just saying, hey, I respect that. You know, that's fine. If you just want to be a closet ambassador, I have plenty of those people on my team. But consider, God might bring someone across your path that Plexus can help, or he might bring people to your mind as you're starting to learn more about what Plexus does for people. So keep that option open. Like you have a website, so all you have to do is tell people like, hey, Plexus is helping people with these types of issues. All you need to do is send them to your website. If you're not comfortable doing that, like my mom is she's like a natural networker. She tells everyone about everything all the time, but she just has a funny fear of making money off of someone for whatever reason. So I'm like, hey, just refer them to me. We'll do a referral system. Or like, even with my mom, like I've thought, they can be under her on her team, so to speak, but I'm doing all the work for her basically. So sometimes you get someone that just needs a little bit of coaching, needs a little bit of just kind of mindset shift in light of, one, it's okay to help people. Two, it's okay to be compensated for it. And you never know, like sometimes, a lot of times I'll just plant little seeds in people's mind. Like I respect that, if you don't want to share, but consider that Plexus is helping people with a whole lot of issues, and it's a whole lot simpler than what I did to help my body heal 4 years ago. So anyways, I'm totally getting kind of off track, but basically anyone that goes silver this month, it's a good deal. And if you help your people go silver, every person that you help go silver on your team, on your level ones, you get $50 per person. So it's encouraging, it's incentivizing all of us to not just be satisfied with getting ourselves healthy, but also investing in other people and helping them do the same thing, helping them share. So I kind of jotted down a few notes when I was at camp about working on silver, just some few things that I feel like are important. So I know a lot of people, no, not a lot, but several people in my little thread that were working on silver didn't hit it. And I'll just say that it's okay. It doesn't mean that you can't be successful with Plexus. It means, all that means, if you set a goal and you didn't hit it, all that means is you have to reevaluate and look and learn. And so a lot of times we'll all look, if I don't hit a goal, say, okay, what did I do well? What could I do better? And just evaluate in that way. And to realize it's a fresh month, we can set new goals, we can get a fresh start. And this is something that I jotted down. It's like I put quit with inside a circle with a slash through it. And that, like, quitting is not allowed. And this is the reason. If your why is big enough, you won't quit. you won't stop until you hit your goal that you've set for yourself. So having a big why is so key. And for me in the beginning, my why just meant getting myself healthy. Like that's where I was mentally, that's where I was physically, emotionally. Like I couldn't focus on other people right then. I had to just work on getting myself healthy. And then it evolved. And then I was like, oh, well, maybe I could give my kids Probio 5. And I saw it deal with Benjamin's full body blown eczema in a month of one Probio at night. And it went away. I was like, okay, this is interesting. So like I had this little progression of my why growing bigger and bigger. And as I started to learn about the products, it just made sense to me, like the science details, the reason, and then the testimonies. And I was like, okay, I need to share this because this could help and benefit a lot of people. And they could get healthy a lot more simply than I did. A lot of you maybe know my story about the mold, but if you don't, you can go to YouTube and listen to my health testimony, or go to What is Plexus, and I have it written out. But I was pretty sick from mold, and just I did very, very drastic things to help myself heal. And I'm always game, like, same with homeschooling. Like, if there's an easier way, I'm all for that. So Plexus fits right in there with simplicity. So anyways, I was just going to encourage everyone this month to go for a minimum of 3 new ambassadors and 3 new customers, kind of a 3+3. And then if you're really ambitious and you want to go for double silver, which isn't really a rank, but it's basically, instead of adding 3, it's adding 6. So some people are super strong. They have, big networks, or you have your warm market still wide open to you, and it's not hard to, post some on Facebook and you have tons of people messaging you. I feel like it's a little different for me now because I got to a point in my sharing that kind of dried up with people stopped messaging me. And so it kind of forced me to reach out to people. We encourage people to do both, consistent Facebook posting and also consistent reach outs as God brings people to your mind. I mean, it's kind of weird how randomly you'll be like, oh, I've never talked to so-and-so. So to me, that's just a prompting from the Holy Spirit to write that person on my list and be like, hey, for whatever reason you came to mind in light of Plexus, I'm just curious, have you been introduced to it yet? Just super simple. Like, I feel like reach outs don't have to be anything long and drawn out. It certainly doesn't need to be salesy or like a form letter or a, like a copy and paste. What are those called? Can't remember right now. Scripts. Yeah, we don't really do scripts because I feel like they sound canned. So just as long as it sounds like you, that's the main thing. Another thing I jotted down is mindset. I feel like mindset is huge. I battle my head trash. That Secret Code to Success book is a book I highly recommend everyone reading at some point, and actually maybe rereading, because sometimes you read something, but then you go read it with a different set of ears, so to speak, because you're in a different spot in your journey. So mindset is so key. Like, I tend, especially when I first started, but even now sometimes I still struggle with tending to assume the negative. Assume I'm bugging them, assume they don't want it, assume they think it's too expensive, assume, all in the negative, instead of saying, actually, this person may be praying for an answer and I'm able to share something that will help them. Hey, this mama really wants to stay home with her babies. My reach out to her about Plexus may be like a direct answer to prayer, or a direct just an opportunity that she's been looking for. So mindset is so key. Same with thinking things like, oh, I could never. Well, why could you never? I think changing those negatives into the positive, and like as soon as they come, to flip it. Instead of a negative, turn it into a positive, like the book teaches us, like a positive affirmation, where you're actually asking a question, where instead of assuming, oh, I could never be silver, or I could never be diamond, like, why can't I be silver? I can be silver today if I want, right? Like switching that mindset, just flipping it. And then I just wanted to kind of paint a picture too. Actually, I had this quote written down. No one's interested. Okay, 1, people are interested. My biggest thing is we have to be good listeners. And I did a post about this on my Facebook wall this evening. people tell me things like, oh, I can never do what you do, or I can never sell something, or I could never share Plexus. And when people say never, that's always such a strong word. I'm like, well, we'll see. But there's like several things to unpack there. Is why could you never? If people are desperate enough, they will find a way to make things work, right? Even if it means they're going outside of their comfort zone to sell something. Hello, everyone's selling something. It's so weird to me. And like some of the stuff that Jessica's taught me has been so like such a mindset shift. Like, why is business bad? There's nothing wrong with business. There's nothing wrong with a home business. There's nothing wrong with me sharing something that works with people, right? So this whole idea, like I could never do it, that's just silly. And people can do it if they want to. I guess that's what it comes down to. But this whole no one's interested thing, like some of these objections I hear, I feel like are just kind of cop-outs or excuses. Like, I feel like that's what they are. People are interested. We have to listen. Like the post I did, really, if you listen, people tell you their story. Like just in the normal conversation, like the lady at the library time this morning, just chit-chatting, talking about everything from birth to I don't know what. Everything. She was just chit-chatting with me. I listened mainly, but then she told me about this friend that has diabetes and this on and on. People tell you their health problems or their friends' health problems, or because it so engulfs their life. Like someone has a child with celiac. I mean, like their life is so wrapped up in cooking and like doctor's appointments and trying to figure out how to heal their child. So this whole idea that no one's interested is really not true, and like that it's all about following up. And really, I think when you come from a standpoint of belief, like you have belief in yourself, you have belief in the products, and you have belief in network marketing, those things are so foundational for your success in Plexus. And also as you're reaching out and following up with people, because people, for whatever reason, your mindset comes through on a private message. Your outlook, your perspective, it comes through on a Facebook post. I don't know how it does, but it just does. Like I sense it and I feel it in people. Like sometimes I'm turned off. I'm like, I don't like the way that person posts. I don't like how that came off. And then there's other people and I'm like, their heart is like so sweet. The way they word it or the way they share, like their persona just comes, it just exudes their Facebook posts. They don't even have to have a picture on it. It's just like their sweetness. So I think definitely making sure that your belief is there and your mindset is there is so key. And when Jessica and different people say the fortune is in the follow-up, like that's so key. I didn't join Plexus the first time I heard about it. I checked it out, but I said, no way. I thought it looked like an MLM. And Plexus has come so far in their marketing. It was very cheesy before, like people running on the beach. Like I'm like, no thanks. And I didn't even have a reason to be negative about multi-level marketing. I don't know. It's just like, And I looked at it and looked like it was for diabetics and for people that needed to lose weight. I was just not at the right timing for me. I was sick from the mold and working with a naturopath at the time. And when Shoshana had sent out that e-blast from her bulk herb store, I was like, oh, cool. What's she into now? But it was a year and a half later that I joined Plexus, and I did not join her. 1, I didn't know her personally. 2, so she had no way to follow up. But maybe if she would have kept sending out e-blasts about it, I might have joined her and done it sooner. But that follow-up thing is so key. Like people like don't message you back or whatever. But I have people joining me now that have watched me for 2 years. So it's like timing for people. Sometimes people try it and they're like, it didn't work, and then they come back. So it's timing. There's a lot of things that factor into why people are ready or aren't ready yet. So follow-up is so key. Okay, so, and then I wanted to paint a picture here. So Plexus is kind of numbers. I know it's weird to think about that because I don't think of people as numbers or anything like that, but the law of averages. So for instance, say you reach out to 100 people. Just to give you a picture, this helped me so much when I learned about this. So say you reach out to 100 people, and then you might hear back from 10. Or maybe if you're a really influential or cool person, or you have great Facebook posts, or people just love you, you hear back from maybe more than that, okay? But say you only hear back from 10%. Okay, now from that 10% of people that responded back to you, between 2 and 5 will end up joining you. So that was like so pivotal for me. And when I talk to people on our team, they're like, no one, like hardly anyone responds back to my messages. And Justin and I are both like, yep, join the crowd. But what happens is there are some people that will join you. And same with your Plexus team. Say out of 100 people on your Plexus team, about 80% don't work the business. So like pretty much your whole business comes from like the top 10 or 20% of people. Actually, it's probably less than 20%. It's probably more like 10%. Because you'll have your dabblers, people that are like, oh yeah, I want to do this or that. They dabble a little bit. And then you have a few people that like get to silver and then they just stop because they're comfortable and they hit that first goal. So like, woohoo, I'm good. And then you'll have some people that like bullet and just like go fast start, or like, I don't know, they just go crazy. You might have like a couple, and it takes you 2 runners to get you to diamond. Okay, so just keep that in mind. This is not like a huge, vastly large number of people. Same with the people on my team. Like the number of people I've signed up, like over the past 2 years, I'd have to go back and look and see how many level 1s, but probably over 100 at this point. I know that sounds like a huge number, and I feel like some people are heavy, strong recruiters, and that's one of my strengths. A weakness of mine is actually training people and encouraging that duplication, because I'm very strong red personality, so I expect people to not waste time, get it done, see what I do, duplicate it, be self-starters. Like, I'm learning to handhold a little bit more, invest more in people, and train people and follow up better. So in light of the people that I've signed, it is kind of a numbers thing. When I boil it down, there's less than 15 people really working. So isn't that key? Isn't that interesting? So anyways, I thought the numbers thing was kind of interesting to talk about. And then I'll just say, in light of going silver or really going to any rank, it's all about doing the things. Like, it's not hard stuff. It's just simple things. It reminds me of when I practice piano with my kids, or when I'm teaching a child to read. Like, it's really not flashy. It's like every day you sit down and you work through a little assignment, and every day you get a little better, and every day, you know, there's some new victories, and every day there's some new challenges. But over the course of time, over the course of 6 months or a year, you start to see some progress, and that gets exciting, and you start celebrating those things. So it's plugging in, it's doing the daily power hour or power 15 minutes, whatever you have to squeeze in your day. I mean, if you have an iPhone, and you're like, I have friends that are jewels, and they still work an outside job, which, well, a friend that I'm thinking of specifically, she'll never quit her job because she's a math teacher at her Christian school, and so her kids I think they go for free or something like that. So she's like, I'm never going to quit my job. I'm here with my kids, but she works from her phone. So on her breaks or in the evenings, she hops on her Zoom with her people, or she's messaging on her breaks. You can listen to calls when you're on the phone. I mean, there's so many ways to squeeze it into the nooks and crannies, which as you get farther in your journey, you have to be more strategic, I feel like, with time management, but like responding to people's messages, like I can do it while I'm, I don't know, just randomly in the middle of my day doing different things. So I will just say, so the daily power hours are key. Facebook posting is so essential. I know you guys that are on the call have already plugged into this, but the resource that I posted on the top of our team page is called One Team, and there's a pinned post. And if you're on your phone, you won't see it very well. You have to actually click to view it, but if you're on your computer, it'll pop up. Always the front and center thing on the team page. I'm starting to add resources to that. That way there's a one-stop spot for everyone to know, okay, what are the top 3 triplex videos? What are the top 2 compensation plan videos? What do I need to know about Facebook posting? Like, there are just tricky things that you can learn about Facebook, and there's, I think, 2 calls pinned there that I encourage everyone to listen to right when they join, so they can just learn more about it. my opinion, you should post 3 times minimum daily on Facebook. And sometimes this is really hard for people, like, but if you have to view it as like, well, this is your Plexus work. If you're really wanting to work the business, and you have to figure out how to work that into your normal day. So for instance, for me, I do like an inspirational quick post in the morning, quick scripture picture, or maybe something I found that was encouraging, or I'm reading a book, and I'll just post a quick quote from the book. That's my morning post. If I have time to do a quick copy and paste of a Plexus testimony or something in the morning, sometimes I'll do that. My key time for Facebook posts is in the evening. I feel like more people are on in the evening, more people scroll. Noon is not a bad time either. So I feel like first thing in the morning, noon, and evening. And I aim for at least 2 non-Plexus posts and 1 Plexus post. Scroll and go stalk your own Facebook wall and just look and see, am I balanced? Am I interesting? Am I funny? Am I asking questions? If you don't have, you need to, I feel like doing those like questionnaire posts are good to do at least once or twice a week to get new traffic on your Facebook wall. So, hey, what are you having for dinner? The one thing that I did yesterday that actually was really effective was that zucchini thing, which I was really curious. I was truly curious, but I do try to be intentional about asking questions like, what do I do with this big zucchini boat? Like, do you actually use them? Because I could probably feed my family for like a week on 1 zucchini boat. But it had like 40 comments. So I was like, okay, that's cool. People like to talk about zucchini. And let's see. So 3 minimum. And vary your Plexus posts. Like sometimes you might make just something short and super short and sweet. Go stock some different jewels in Plexus. And look, some of the comments actually that I post on different people's Plexus posts are actually great posts themselves. So I have started putting them in the notes in my phone when I make a really good comment, and I'll just save it to the notes in my phone and be like, cool, that'll be a post sometime. I'll just copy and paste it real quick and make a fun little post. Sometimes you can do like where you make a little blurb about Plexus, like, hey, whatever. I don't know. Maybe it'll maybe you want to highlight a certain Plexus thing. Post a video that's compliant in the comments. Like, hey, want to learn more? Check out the comments, and then put like one of those little emojis that shows the fingers pointing down. So people, if they're truly curious, because you have a lot of stalkers, people that are looking at what you're sharing, they want to learn more. So for green personalities, that will speak to them. If you actually, I'm talking color personalities here. If you haven't read the 4 color personalities of network marketing, go get the book off Amazon. It's like super thin. You can read it in less than 30 minutes probably, but it's really, really helpful because it'll help you identify what you are, your team, your kids, your family. Like, it's super helpful just, I feel like, in life to learn more about people, so you learn to be a better relator. So vary the way you post about Plexus. Sometimes I've gotten stuck where I'm like, no one's responding to my Plexus posts. What should I do? So getting creative, doing testimonies is, I feel like, so key, especially in the beginning. People want to know, what is Plexus help? Just try to make sure they're compliant, meaning you're not saying that Plexus cures anything or talking a bunch of big disease names. I was at a training in Las Vegas, the Sapphire and Diamond training, and Julia Carty was a diamond that was training us, and she said that she had a girl that was really trying to go silver, and she was having trouble, and so she did a little coaching call with her, and she's like, okay, well, let me go stalk your Facebook page really quick. Let's take a look at what your posts are like. And she's like, okay. She just coached her. She said, okay, all your Facebook wall is Plexus. She said, why don't you start posting more about your family, what's going on in your life? She said the girl was silver within a week. So I was like, that's interesting. So sometimes you just hear little snippets here and there, and you use them when they're applicable. But Facebook posting is so key, and being consistent. Some people that don't, I don't know. Molly, actually, I think we were chatting about this earlier today. People that say they're wanting to go silver, but they're not consistent with their posting. Like, that's why they're not consistent. Most people can go silver within 1 to 2 months if their Facebook posts are consistent. If they're wanting to go faster, go silver faster, then they need to do reach outs too. Speaking of reach outs, the first thing I recommend people doing is making a friends list. So that's an acronym for friends, relatives, acquaintances. Kind of, it should be a natural thing. We have 10 minutes. Okay, we got to talk fast. It should be a natural thing. This was kind of organic for me when I started Plexus, and realized what I had with Plexus was just to make a list, start making lists of people that I felt could benefit from Plexus. And I love Melissa Eichenhorst's list of 63. So any of your newbies, definitely plug them into that resource. So it's basically a Frank's list, but she teaches everyone how to qualify that. So you have your people that need the products. You have people that you think would be great at the business. You have people that are influential and successful. So, and that's a mistake that I made in the beginning. You can learn from me. Because I only reached out to people about products. So basically got to Sapphire pushing products, which I feel like we always lead with products. But I feel like if I would have prospected more to business and shared and posted about the business more, you will attract strong reds if you share the business. And Jessica, actually, all the successful diamonds share the business. Jessica Heffley is like insanely stacked with strong reds on her team. And she said the reason why is because I have shared the business from the get-go. She's like, I've shared the income potential. That's what I've shared. And so like her family members, she has like one of her sweet sister-in-laws is getting ready to go Emerald. She's like senior Ruby. She was able to quit her teaching job and stay home with her babies. Like, I mean, it's really real for people. So anyways, share about the business. Don't be like me and be scared. I was, for whatever reason, just felt like my foot was on the pedal because of certain people in my life, I think, because I know their mindset. I felt like I would be annoying them to share that. But really, for every 2 people that are annoyed, there's another 200 that love what we share. So we can't be held back by those people. And then a couple other things I just had written down is definitely invite people to our 7-day challenge. And if you haven't participated in that, it's really, really helpful. Even your new ambassadors and new customers should be added to that just because of how much belief it builds. There's a lot of testimonies. There's a lot of product information. Super fun, interactive. There's a lot of people, a lot of excitement, a lot of energy in that group. Giveaways, things like that. And what someone asked me today, like they were having a brain freeze on how to reach out to someone about it. Like, I don't know. When I follow up with someone, I'll just say, hey, I'm hosting another 7-day challenge. Are you, just to chat about Plexus products, are you game for giving it a try? Have you thought about trying it? I mean, it can be super simple. Basically, like if you go up here to your friend and just tell them about what we're going to do. Doesn't have to be anything super long and drawn out. I feel like the shorter and sweeter, the better on your reach outs or your invites to people. Okay, we already talked about approaching with the business. And then network everywhere. That's something that I'm always doing. Like we were at family camp. I felt like it was kind of hard to meet people. I don't know if people were just like always with their families or what, but I met some people. But like we meet people everywhere we go, and I friend them right away on Facebook. I'm like, hey, we should connect. I don't hardly ever tell people, well, I shouldn't say that hardly ever, but I don't blast people with Plexus. So when I'm networking, you know what I mean? Like I just connect with people because I'm a networker now, right? So we're connecting people to their need. It may not be Plexus. It may be Jesus. It may be they need a string quartet for their wedding. It may be, whatever their need is. There's lots of needs, and if it's a good thing to be a networker. It ends up blessing you, and it ends up blessing other people. And so I just try to friend people and friend them on Facebook. And then like Lynn, we met at a wedding. Then she just started, I guess, seeing my posts. So anyway, so networking, meeting new people. Plus it's fun. Like my mom's always been a natural networker, and I've been more of like stand in the corner on an elevator and don't make eye contact ever. And she'd be like the person that's chit-chatting and making new friends and inviting them to Thanksgiving dinner on an elevator or wherever we're at. So she's just a natural like that. And she had a lot of the what Dale Carnegie teaches in his How to Win Friends and Influence People book. I think some people come into Plexus with a certain skill set that can totally bless them in their Plexus business, and they can rocket faster. So then some of us that have to learn these skills, but we can all learn them, right? We can all do better at those things. So, okay, I will stop talking because I feel kind of weird doing a monologue, but let me open it up and you guys let's chit chat for the last 5 minutes and I'll answer your questions because that might be more beneficial. Okay, I'm going to unmute you guys unless we get weird feedback. Okay, cool. All right, so for everyone else that wasn't able to hop on the call, ask some good questions too. So I'm sure if one of you has a question, then the other people have the same one.
If you are already silver, the double bonus is only for the people reaching silver for the first time, correct?
Correct. So if you're already silver, the perk for you is to help your people go silver. So if you help 2 people go silver, you'll make as much as a silver bonus. If you help 4 people or 5 people, you'll make as much as a gold bonus. So that's kind of cool.
Lynn, it's good to see you and meet you. I've been watching your posts. And
I know, you too. It's so fun to see you in person. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Megan, I know you said that you're not a natural born leader, or maybe that's not one of your strengths, but I think you're doing fabulous with the team. And I can tell you really pushing in that area of hand holding and walking us through it. And I appreciate the time.
Yeah, it's something that I've seen really there's been a need for that more, the hand holding thing. But it's not a bad thing. I like it. I'm realizing explaining to people what I do instead of assuming that they know what I'm doing. And I've seen that even with Jessica Heffley. I think we're all learning how to be better, within our strength zone, but also then on the parts where we're weaker. It helps me when she posts on her team page what she did that day to work her business. That helps. Or to see, oh, she's doing reach outs. Oh, she's doing IPA stuff too. She's not just managing from afar and telling us all what to do.
Hey, Megan.
Uh-huh.
One thing that I would say is before Plexus, I never posted anything. Hardly ever. Maybe a happy birthday to my kids. So for me, it's been 1 week now. Yesterday was 1 week from the first post, and it's feeling a little more normal, but it's still, what I struggle with is people thinking, you never posted before and now suddenly, but also I think another part of that is, I'm feeling so much better and I want to connect with people and, my mental health is better. So that's all involved, but I have to make myself do that because it's not like some of my friends post every day about everything, that's not what I was used to doing. So taking selfies is just really, it feels really weird.
It still feels a little bit strange to me, but I notice people that are successful in Plexus, I track with their posts and it's a picture of them. I'm okay, well, maybe I'll try that. And okay. I like seeing you guys with you're sharing about, that's interesting to me. But when it's me, I don't like it as much. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's just learning. It's getting outside your comfort zone. Hey, I don't have the freeze or the unlimited Zoom, so we're gonna get to that in 1 minute. Do you guys still have a lot of other chatty things that you want to chat about, or because I can make a new link if you want?
I'm good.
You're good. So I think with posting, it's just getting into the little routine, and that you can do 2 or 3 posts a day, and that's fine. It's just the consistency of it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Well, thanks for popping on, guys.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
All right. Let me know if you have any other questions. Just post them in that little thread, and we'll connect over there.
Okay.
Okay. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.